Aasalamualaikum guys, in this video we are to come up with a hot topic of this next year, that is 2021, that is the top 10 programming language you have to learn in the year 2021. So stay with us to learn what programming comes into first, second and third, the top 3, but we are focusing on the top 10. Let's see what is that top 10 programming languages. And before much further ado, you subscribe this channel and also don't be forgotten to share this video with everyone. Now let's move on to this video, that is top 10 programming languages you have to learn in the year 2021. So let's move on. At number 10, we have the very much famous programming languages in our intelligent era, that is Google Go. As we already know, Google has developed a programming languages. Since it announced it was a Google programming language, it has gained much more popularity rather than now. So here Google Go is one of the programming languages making its presence in the top 10 list of the programming languages. So the skills out of that you need to learn, that is Google Go is a programming language designed as Google Go. So programming language offers a cross-platform support which makes it efficient and convenient to use. It is one of the programming languages that is gained much more popularity in less time. So an average salary of a Google Go programmer is $900,000. Let's move on to the next. At number 9, we have PHP. As we already know, PHP is a programming language used to develop websites and also make interactive web pages. So it is a programming language which makes sense to learn in the year 2021. And sort of skills that you need to require is developed by Facebook using PHP. Facebook also developed by using PHP. It has become a trend, but it is now only making that on the top 5 programming languages, but it is not. It moved on to the 9th one. So the average salary of a PHP developer is $186,000 per annum. So at number 8, we have Scala. You may not hear the Scala programming languages, but it is making sense in the 2021. You have to learn it in order to survive this. So Scala programming languages, the sort of skills you need to have, that is a programming language that supports functional as well as object-oriented programming is very much popular. The future of this programming language makes it more productive for programming languages. Java has an influence on Scala programming language. Scala programming language is considered as rich in APIs. The API is one of the concepts that has to be focused on before building an app. So the average salary of a Scala developer is $151,000 per annum. So it is also sounds great, but it is also considered as a little hard. But you don't take it as serious, because it will be also as a easier one. So let's move on to the next module, that is the 7th. At number 7, we have Swift. Since Swift became the popular programming languages for to develop iOS applications, so it is one of the most basics and also the fundamental app development programming languages to develop a iOS app, and also it is used to develop Android, iOS Watch, iPad, and also Mac PC, Apple phone, the iOS, every system that supports the iOS, that is Apple operating system. So the skills out of you need to remember that is Shift programming language is mainly used in iOS development, as I told you earlier. The programming languages can be used easy in interface because it is an open source language. Apple devices have a huge demand in the market, as I told you. Due to which, Switch programming language is also high in demand and iOS application development. Swift is used more than Objective-C programming. iPhone, iPad, Mac OS, TV OS depend on highly on Swift program, as I told you earlier. Unlike Objective-C, it is also dependent. It has no dependencies. It has a multi-paradigm approach. It can also deal with different types of domains. A decade of advancements has allowed Swift to more expressive with modern enhancement. So the average salary of a Swift developer is $139,000 per annum. We are talking about USA, but in India it is 4,82,842 rupees per annum. And number 6 we have C#. You might not have heard this word C#, but it is also one of the most popular languages when it comes to desktop applications. Also, it is one of the most programming language that uses object-oriented program, also at the same time the functional language, and it is also based on to develop the desktop applications. So the skills out of set you require to learn, it is the average salary of a C# developer is $61,100,000 per annum. And the skill is here is developed by Microsoft. The C# is the number one choice of those interested in GUI, graphical user interface development. It is also used in GUI. It is a programming language for .NET framework also. C# is also used in highly gaming consoles development. This might sound great. You have to learn this programming in order to make a great gaming console. So let's move on to the next module, that is at number 5. We have C++. One of the programming languages is highly developed by Johnny Storstrop. C and C++ is nothing much different, but two programming languages represents two different modules. That also C++ is object-oriented. C is not an object-oriented program, but also used in highly frameworks. So let's say the skills that you require to learn that the dazzling possibilities and many roots in C++ programming language. It is going to pave the way for the successful future in programming for those who have extensive knowledge. Almost every professional is familiar with C++ programming languages because it is one of the basic programming languages ever to learn this. Especially if you are coming from the computer science background. If you are not computer science background, then you have to watch my channel and you will always learn whatever may be, because it is learned by passion channel. Most famous programming languages such as Golang and Shift have been returned in C++. We are already talked about Golang and Shift programming language in the list, but that has been returned by C or C++. So an average salary of a C++ developer is $118,000 per annum. And at number 4 we have JavaScript. When it comes to JavaScript, it is one of the most programming language, and I indeed say that it is one programming language that makes interactive web pages, interactive web applications, and also interactive everything in the web when it comes to web applications. So it is one of the programming languages that uses Java and also at the same time script. So the skills out of that you need to require is JavaScript is a client-side programming language, Node.js, that is also JavaScript. Developer can also use JavaScript as a server-side programming language. This programming language is most often to use in web development, as I told you. It's used in dynamic web pages development. It is also very common. Invented in 1995. It's a huge scope in 2020, but we are talking about in 2021. It's also gained some more popularity in 2021 rather than JavaScript is a client-side programming language. Node.js developers can also use can also use that is JavaScript as a server-side programming language. This programming language is most often used in web development. As I told you earlier, it is used in dynamic web page development, also in very much popular, common invented in 1995. It has a huge scope in 2021 or more or less, and all browsers have support for JavaScript programming language. This is because of only programming language that makes it possible to create more dynamic pages. JavaScript promises you quick removal of bugs, easy object development, code snippets. Indeed, it is a bright future ahead. So, an average salary of a JavaScript developer is $105,000 per annum. Let's move on to the third. We have in the third of the list is Java. Java is a programming language has gone modification in terms of style from its code writing framework. It is one of the oldest programming and also a popular programming languages. Many of the programming languages are developing and incorporating changes in order to compete with Java, that it has not yet done. As Java is more demanded programming language, it is not going to drop overnight. It has maintained a legacy of 10 to 15 years and will continue to go on in 2021. And an average salary at a Java professional is we have $105,000 per annum. Let's move on. That is the second programming language we have in the second list is R programming language. Machine learning, data analysis, statistics, and some of the fields where R programming language is widely used. Python programming language offers a very general approach to field of data science. R is a programming language that uses very much corporate with machine learning data analysis. So an average salary of our developer is $106,000 per annum. So we have a last but not the least. At number one we have, as we know, that is Python. Python is a multi-paradigm programming language invented by GOTO. It has the feature of traditional and modern programming languages such as C and Java. It is one of the most rapidly growing programming languages. It has experienced in its span of 20 plus years. This tells that Python has a promising future in programming language role in 2021. The average salary of a Python developer we have $103,000 per annum. So with that, I conclude my list of top 10 programming languages in the year 2021. Make sure not to learn that all programming languages, inshallah you will, and also not to be forgotten to subscribe this channel at the same time. Thanks for watching, guys. It is one of the biggest videos. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you so much.